First we went up, past the Hunt Lodge, all the way up past Thompson Flat, through Anderson, and
where I let the raccoon go.
Yes. And we turned back on the Hanging Limb Highway, and it's always hard to find Curly's driveway, and it was raining hard. It made it twice as hard. The guy behind me hated me. And the first time, really, we got to know Curly was through the food pantry at the community center up in Crawford, which was pretty cool. Yeah. And he would help people carry boxes out and stuff like that, and just always in a good mood. I knew we'd met him before then, but that's when I really got to talk to him a little and know him a little. And I didn't know then that his left arm didn't work all the way, and that he'd been injured in a logging accident and all the stuff that happened to him. And we just knew that somebody called us, his daughter or somebody, a few years ago and asked us to help him out a little, and it's been fun going around and talking to him and helping him with a little firewood and stuff now and then. He certainly deserves it. He worked in the logwoods, what they call about it here, which generally speaking isn't an overly insured job, although one of the more dangerous professions.
Well, isn't that how he hurt his arm?
Yeah, he got his arm hurt in a cable accident working in the logwoods, and it was just, pulled it completely out. It was awful. And back before that, he used to take that. He'd work all week in the logwoods, and then he'd take the Jesus Loves You pickup truck that is backed into the weeds now that I've videotaped so many times, that he would take his chickens and his turkeys and his ducks that he'd raised
and a goat
to the Crossville flea market and sell them there. Curly worked hard, man. He did it. And but he's always home. He's always home.
And that'll get her through a week or so? Oh, I don't want to do that. I just want to get her until she can get her check.
Well, now you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. I feel like my time ain't long, long, time ain't long, long, time ain't long. Well, you better run. Somebody's calling you. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. I feel like my time ain't long, long, time ain't long, long, time ain't long. Well, now goodbye, you false pretender. Lord, I cannot wait for you. For the Bible declares you're a heathen, and what the Bible declares is true. Well, now you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. I feel like my time ain't long, long, time ain't long, long, time ain't long. Well, I saw one false pretender, and his head was hanging low. Lord, I saw him again that evening. He was walking down the road. I said, now you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. Well, you better run.
And the last time we were there, I thought he looked rough, and Judy said he looked rough when she took him a box of food a couple weeks ago. And we stopped there, and it was raining and dark, and I put the food on the porch and banged on the door, and there was no response. And so I don't know. I hope Curly's all right. But anyway, then we went. Next, we went to the house that we delivered to.
You better run. You better find your hiding place, 'cause the train is leaving today. No, 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 no. Blow your nose, son. He gets paid to do that. Brother, your time has come, no, so you better run. when I say somebody's calling you, well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you, well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. I feel like my time ain't long, long, time ain't long, long, time ain't long. Well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you, well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you, well, you better run. Run when I say somebody's calling you. I feel like my time ain't long, long, time ain't long, long, time ain't long. My time long. Sing it, John. We'll pull the cameras down. We'll pull the cameras down real soon. Lean it down, son. Here now, here.
Hey, no, no. My old granny she used to say, y'all simmer down just a little bit. Hey, now you better run. I'm an old man now, I can't do nothing. Young folks don't pay me no mind. But in my day, I sure was something. Before I felt the heavy hand of time. I'm an old man now, I'm bound for glory. Time to lay these burdens down. Had enough of this old world of worry. Gonna trade my troubles for the crown. I will make my way across the fields of cotton and wade through muddy waters one last time. And in my dreams I come out clean when I reach the other side, west of where the sun sets, where rainbows never die. I've got one last thing to do, one more mile before I'm through, casting off these earthly chains, going where there's no more pain. I will make my way across the fields of cotton and wade through muddy waters one last time. And in my dreams I come out clean when I reach the other side, west of where the sun sets, where rainbows never die. I'm an old man now, I can't do nothing. Young folks don't pay me no mind. Kennedy's.
All right.
Yes, sirree. I know Scott Miller a little bit. You want to hear a quick story about him before I introduce him? Uh-oh. He played on our farm for TV about 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't it? 3, 4, 4, 5, a while back. I was in the still art photography business for 35 years. That will become relevant in just a second. And I was standing right over there and I was shooting the video, and all these beautiful young ladies were dancing up here in the front, just dancing, dancing, dancing. And there was one blonde one in particular in a little peasant dress, and she was shaking it, and I was getting distracted, and I was no longer videotaping Scott. I had my camera trained on her, and she turned around, and it was a little Amish girl that I'd photographed when she was that tall. Because Scott Miller is so good that he can make the Amish dance. How about that? Give it up real loud. Scott Miller in the Commonwealth.
Good to be home. How are you? All right. I made a mess of this town. Now every sidewalk crack either knocks me down or breaks somebody's back. And every face I see as I look around says it's time to leave. You made a mess of this town. Song on my lips, I came and found out how big this town really is. Confusing lovers and confusing friends, making the same mistakes again and again, till all the guys at the bar, will you stay where you are? And all the girls on the block, well, you know how girls talk. And all the lights on the street, incandescent and mean. 'Cause the word got around, oh man, I made a mess of this town. People you meet, then there's people you know. Some keep you on your feet, and some don't let them go. That's why I sit at the bar and I dream of the day that I get the means to mean what I say. I'm gonna leave this town in a cloud of dust with a 50-cent lighter and a whiskey buzz. And then there'll be a day when I come back around, mama. And when they ask why, I'll say it's 'cause I made them.
this whole world that we got today, who knows how it goes? You may rise, you may fall. That's the way it rolls. And him that gets is him that gets what you got will help. They say a rich man will lose his soul, saving all that wealth, but his hell on a poor boy. It's hell on a poor boy. It's hell on a poor boy in a world that don't care. And he keep a wheel rolling, but he don't get nowhere. And you'll find him in a bread line, or standing at some bar as just some way of killing time all around the world. It's hell on a poor boy. It's hell on a poor boy. You know he built this city and every city on this earth, and every dam, every bridge, every church, every highway, a nation, just his word. Yeah, they built a big old wall around China. That wasn't Mao who laid the block. It's some poor guy, fool like me and his hell thinking back. Oh yes, hell on a poor boy. It's hell on a poor boy. Yeah, it's hell on a poor boy, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It's hell on a poor boy and a poor girl too. Thank you, neighbor.
And then next, you know where we went next?
No.
Well, we went into Hanging Limb and went to Uma's trailer and took that bigger box of food to her because her refrigerator went out. We figured she lost everything. And not everybody could just go out and buy food again. And then when we asked the daughter that was there, I think it was a daughter, she said that Patsy had brought a refrigerator the day before. So that was good. Mm-hmm. And hooked her up with a week or so, 2 weeks worth of food.
crying, no more moaning. When I lay my burden down, hey, no more crying, no more moaning. When I lay my burden down. Here we go. How come you never call me? How come you never do? How come you never want me? Honey, like I want you. You got me sweating with a fever, just like a chicken in a stew. Well, you say you're gonna love me, but honey, you never do. How come you never see me? How come you never give me a sign? How come you wanna tease me till I think I'm going out of my mind? You got me walking on a tight rope, jumping through a burning hoop. The way you say you're gonna love me, but honey, you never do. All right, yeah. Well, you better let up, and you better be cool. Because if all you wanna do is hurt me, you got to find yourself another fool. You got me ticking like a time bomb. You got me kicking like a mule. The way you say you're gonna love me, but honey, you never do. You got me ticking like a time bomb. You got me kicking like a mule. The way you say you're gonna love me, but honey, you never do. Yeah, you say you're gonna love me, but honey, you say you're gonna love me, but honey, you say you're gonna love me, but honey, you never do. Long time ago, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not talking about last Tuesday or last year. I'm talking about a long time ago. I'm talking about ancient Greece. Athens. 400 BC, baby. The town fathers and all their wisdom and all their glory and all their power decided to do away with the hippest, the coolest, the kindest, the wisest, and the most beatific man in town. And I'm talking about Socrates. They put him up on charges of corrupting the youth of Athens. You can't corrupt the youth of Athens, ladies and gentlemen. They already there. But they put him up on those charges. They took him to court and they found him guilty and they sentenced him to death and they threw him in the slammer. And along about midnight, a man walked into the jail cell and he was carrying a cup, and in the cup was hemlock, and hemlock is poison. Socrates took the cup, he calmly raised it to his lips, he sniffed it like a California wine connoisseur, and he said, "Oh, jailer, if I got to drink this poison, would you mind terribly getting me 2 lumps of sugar? 'Cause jailer, I like my poison sweet." Mama told Papa, the dinner's in the pot. You better come and get it while your dinner's still hot. Yeah, get it while it's hot. Well, Papa told Mama,
A man don't live by his dinner alone. He needs sweet poison. Sweet poison. Sweet poison. It's everything you need. Fishing hole, or something ain't right. The worm won't wiggle and the fish won't bite. No, 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 they just won't bite. Well, the snitch won't rat, the rat won't snitch, the itch won't scratch, and the scratch won't itch without sweet poison. Sweet poison. Sweet poison. It's every little thing you need. Down the rabbit hole, the cards are marked and the dice are gone cold. Well, they're gone stone cold. But well, you don't find out till way too late. A lady luck ain't no cheap date. She's sweet poison. Sweet poison. It's everything you need. Oh, sweet poison. Sweet poison. It's every little thing you need. Well, no more crying, no more moaning when I lay my burden down.
Granny Bowles.
Granny Bowles.
And Granny Bowles.
You're leaving out Elizabeth.
I'm leaving out Elizabeth.
Elizabeth was just
that's
before
right.
you turned down.
That's right. I'll allow that. But Elizabeth wasn't home.
No, she wasn't home.
But we went there anyway. Elizabeth
in 20 minutes, I'm going to ask you these again.
No, yeah, me and Trump. Dog, person, mouse, camera, TV,
elephant.
Elizabeth is the lady that came here. First time I ever saw her, it was cold weather, and she came down here, and she used to own a consignment store in Knoxville. And she had some pretty nice coats, and she brought them.
Yeah.
And she started telling me about how her husband had a stroke, and he was in a facility down in Chattanooga, and she had custody of two boys like 10 and 12, and I finally talked to her and had taken some food back with her and got to know her that way. And we went up and found out that, and we had Diana and Barry with us.
Yeah.
And we found out that she needed a wheelchair ramp built before she could bring her husband Larry home from the VA, and that they required that the house be wheelchair accessible, which makes a certain amount of sense. Somebody that can't walk. And God bless him, Diana's boyfriend Barry jumped up, said, "I'll do it," and had it done in 3 days. And so he's got to come home, been home. And we like to drop stuff off with her now. She's not as resistant as she used to be. She gets next to nothing in any kind of food stamps or anything like that. And they're just barely getting by, and they're invisible. I always like to stop for the crunchy cars going down the road. And then we went to Granny Bowles.
Yes.
And Granny Bowles isn't really in the classic sense of need. I mean, she's fine. She lives in a nice place and she keeps it beautifully. I don't believe she owns it. And but Granny Bowles is one of the ones that really just need somebody to stop by.
Yeah, she likes to chat.
She doesn't get a lot of visitors, and she likes us because we make her laugh.
Yeah, she likes the salmon.
And we bring her pink canned salmon, and she makes salmon patties.
Yeah.
Sometimes she sends them down with white biscuits.
Yeah.
They're good. Oh my God! But nah, she's just she's been up there forever, and she's just a sweet old, very conservative older woman who, she fell the other day. That's why we were there, right?
Yeah.
And they thought she'd broken her hip, but she hadn't. And we wanted to leave a little box of treats on her porch so when she got home. But the door was open.
Yeah.
She may have been in there
Might have been
asleep.
in there.
Oh no.
Way too tall. We coming pop.
Down.
Yeah, man, how about that? Blue mother 210 and a long, tall, long leg. But listen, y'all have a good night.
Guys. Now there's a river of old memories on the same rock I was born. Crossing the water, it fills a book. Pages sadly torn, yeah. And that rain comes falling down from my home to sweeter skies. And the water singing wonders. But I don't remember why. Now, I don't remember why you came. You left me all alone. God help us one. God help us all. Where I don't belong. Yeah. That rocking chair kept her eyes shining out the window, her childhood passing by. Too fast for me to cry. I don't remember why you came, but Lord left me all alone. God help us one. God help us all. Where I don't belong. Here, Lord. Grandmother's crown gonna fill grandfather's eyes with tears. Miles from home she cannot face that bed sheet round her waist, and I say, I don't remember why you came and you left me all alone. God help us one, God help us all. Where I don't belong, I don't remember why you came, left me all alone. God help us one, God help us all. Where I don't belong, where I don't belong, yeah, where I don't belong. So I am no mother, I am no father, I'm just a little one not forgotten. And I'm a born on your shoulders, never grow older. And I'm just a little one not forgotten. There are no tears, no sadness found, 'cause only love can make a sound. Lord, we are many as the stars, and so few to linger here for so long. No flesh and bones, no clothes, no home, just a little one not forgotten. There are no tears, no sadness found, 'cause only love can make a sound. And I pray for you, please pray for me, forever through eternity. I am no mother and I am no father. I'm just a little one not forgotten.
Nice summer day. Well, apparently lately there's been a movement afoot to try to get me to stop giving food to or helping the wrong people. It just keeps building up and building up. I don't know. Got another one last night. I guess I didn't see it until this morning. And they're just very concerned that I'm adding to the problem. Kind of like, if you give people welfare, well, they'll never work again. I don't think there's any statistics on that, but whatever. I think there's a certain group of people out there that have embraced a certain philosophy that leads them to believe that as long as they try hard and do the right thing and, go to church and don't drink beer, and that nothing bad will happen to them. It can't happen to you, right? It can't happen to you. You couldn't be someone in need. You couldn't be someone that really didn't know where your next meal was coming from. How sad must it be to not know if you can properly feed your children? How sad does it have to be to know that you can't transport them to the doctor if you need to? That couldn't be you. That only happens to bad people. Well, let me tell you, I can't find the bad people. Maybe it's my perspective, maybe it's just my point of view, but I haven't found the bad people in my dropping off groceries, in my giving out food, in my hour that Mississippi does this, paying electric bills or water bills or rent bills. I've found damaged people. I found demonized people. I found people that struggle to get through every day, just one more day. But I haven't found what I consider to be bad people. Now let me tell you who I think some bad people are. I'm not going to name the guy running the Senate. There's no point in it. But I'll tell you this. I've been reading about it, watching the events taking place, and they're trying to agree on another stimulus package, and there's one side of the aisle that their major concern is that people that don't make $600 a week are going to get $600 a week, and it bothers them that their unemployment is higher than the salary. Say they're working at a service industry job at one of the fast food restaurants or whatever. Say they're making $7, $8 an hour. It doesn't add up that good. What's that, $300 a week? Unemployment is $600 a week. Well, they'll never go back to work, right? And that's their main concern, and they want to pass a bill that says we'll give you 70%. That's their main concern. They want to pass a bill that will give you 70% of your salary, so that when the time comes, you'll be motivated to go back to work. That's who they're concerned about. That's who they're focused on, is the people on the very bottom that are making $300 a week. Those are the ones that they have to consider when they legislate. For God's sakes, if they made $600 a week for a while, maybe it would help them dig out of the hole they're in. They have to be in a hole at $300 a week. And really, that's your worry, that's your concern. Why is it that we always have to focus on the very least among us? Let me tell you, the people on the mountain are some of the best people I've ever met in my life. They're hard working, they're smart, they most of them can do a little of everything. Listen, when I first moved to Tennessee, I couldn't even change my own oil. These people were changing their oil before they were old enough to drive. It's an amazing thing, isn't it, to walk in the woods and watch somebody pick out all kinds of roots and things that they can dig up and sell for a little money. It's an amazing thing to watch people that grow beautiful gardens year in, year out with just a little bit of help and a hoe. I don't know. What is it about us that seems to motivate the people that could be on the bottom to just really intensely dislike the people on the bottom? So any old way, if you're out there and your concern in life is that somebody that makes $300 a week is going to get $600 a week in unemployment, and somehow that bothers you, and that's unfair, and that's unjust, and that's what hurts you and makes your day go poorly, and that's what you want to see stopped, and you don't want anybody to get more in a stimulus package than they would get if they worked their full shift at Burger King. I guess I get it. But to me, it seems problematic that that's your concern. And once again, I know there's people out there that are going to write me with anecdotal stories about their cousins, brothers, sisters, dog walkers, friend who scam the system. And they're just afraid that's going to start again. Let me explain it to you one more time. There's no system left to scam. There's no services left, hardly any. Food stamps, next to nothing. So when you find yourself concerned that people are living off welfare, you can relax. They're not.
All right, so I have been doing this project for 4.5 years called Songwriting with Soldiers. If those of you were here last year, you might remember I've been working with a group of songwriters that we go to retreat centers around the country, and we sit down with veterans, and we take their story and turn it into songs. And so I've got this body of work now. After 4.5 years of doing it, I got like almost 50 songs I've written with combat veterans and their wives, and sometimes their kids. And our veterans have plenty to say if we sit down and listen. So I've decided, with the encouragement of Robin, who has been working with me for several years, to go ahead and make a record of these songs and put it out in the world, because these people and these stories really do matter. So I'd like to play a couple soldier songs for you, and just know that these are not fiction. Actually, they're the stories of these people's lives, and I've grown to really have deep respect for those who've served and for the sacrifices that they've made and continue to make. Once you've been through trauma, you can relate to people who've been traumatized. There's a lot to connect around. And so the stories I'm going to sing here are true, and start with this one. It's the title track. I wrote it with a young man named Joe Costello. And Joe and I, we started talking about what it was like for him to go from being a young man in Austin, Texas, to basic training and then get off of a plane in Fallujah during the surge. And I said, man, what did you see? What did you smell? What did you hear? What did it look like? And he said, well, it was really a foreign place, and it was hard to see any one thing. It was like a blur, but what I remember is guys holding their AKs with white knuckles on the rifles, and other guys with rosary beads rolling them in their hands. He said, I remember bombed out towns. I remember little kids walking down the street alone, crying, no family anywhere in sight. I remember yellow smoke everywhere and this orange haze, and the dust was filled with sand that was so fine you couldn't see it, but it would get into your flesh and you could never get it out of your nostrils, and it was in all your clothes and it stuck to you. And I remember looking in the mirror after I got home and not recognizing myself anymore. And I said, brother, we got us a song here. Let's write this thing. And this is the title track of the record I'm going to put out in January. It's called Rifles and Rosary Beads. Rifles and rosary beads you hold on to what you need. Vicodin, morphine dreams, rifles and rosary beads, yellow smoke, orange haze, blowing into my eyes, whistling sunset bombs. I couldn't trust the sky, rifles and rosary beads. You hold on to what you need. Vicodin, morphine dreams, rifles and rosary beads. White knuckles wrapped around a blackness that has no sound. Bombed out schools and homes, kids in the street alone. Mirrors frighten me. I don't recognize what I see. The stranger with blood on his hands. Brother, I'm not that man. Rifles and rosary beads. You hold on to what you need. Vicodin, morphine dreams, rifles and rosary beads. Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it.
We better call Nashville and they'll tell that ambulance to bring you straight on.
Yeah, we can do that.
Right now, today.
Won't they?
Yeah.
And then I'll
Oh,
call
wait, no, he
Songwriting.
picks us up here tomorrow morning.
Oh, yeah,
We might be able to,
But
we
hell,
might be able to
that's
get that going now.
That's tomorrow morning.
Let's see if we can. Let's get him a
Tomorrow
place.
morning, by God, might be too late.
So what I learned working with the veterans is that the skill set that saves you in the battle is virtually useless when you come back home. In fact, it's the thing that kills you when you come back home. We're in a crisis right now with veteran suicide. We're losing somewhere in the area of 22 a day. And so this song addresses a little bit of that. I was bound to something bigger and more important than a single human life. I wore my uniform with honor. My service was not a sacrifice. What saves you in the battle can kill you at home. A soldier, soldiering on. You don't fight for yourself, you fight for the ones by your side. And they do the same for you. And to live, you must be willing to die. What saves you in the battle can kill you at all. Soldier on. Suck it up, shut it down. It don't matter how you feel. Mission first, just drive on. A soldier is a cog inside a wheel. Up or down, all for one, the closest family I've known. A soldier, soldiering on. I was bound to something bigger, more important than a single human life. I wore my uniform with honor. My service was not a sacrifice. But what saves you in the battle can kill you at all. A soldier, soldiering on. I'm a soldier, soldiering on.
I'm talking about I got him loaded.
Somebody sent that for you. Yeah,
Is it a love letter?
yeah.
Yeah, it is a letter. What the heck is this, Over? Oh, man. No, I can't accept this.
Oh, yes, you can.
Who's Barbara Smith? Have I met her?
She saw the piece I ran on you on Facebook.
No way.
Right.
Oh, man, did she leave me a return address?
I'm sure.
Oh, man, I gotta...
Yeah.
Let me...
Look into the camera and tell her thank you.
Thank you, Barbara. You don't have to do this.
It's the 11th of November down in Nashville, Tennessee. Free breakfast at the Waffle House if I show 'em my ID. A parade upon the riverfront, you can hear the trumpets play. Hands on hearts, the color guard kicks it off on Veterans Day. And they thank me for my service and wave their little flags. They genuflect on Sundays, and yes, they send us back. But I believe in God and country, and in the angels upon high, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky. The waitress asked me how I'm doing, but I don't know what to say. I was thinking about the battlefield, the night I learned to pray. Marchers make their way down Main Street, the crowds begin to cheer. I feel my chest explode as my eyes fill up with tears. And they thank me for my service and wave their little flags. They genuflect on Sundays, and yes, they'd send us back. But I believe in God and country, and in the angels upon high, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky. Well, Jesus said, forgive them, they know not what they do. And he's here with me this morning, and his words still ring true. So I hang my head and I pray for those we lost and those who remain. As the clouds burst over Nashville, it begins to rain, and they thank me for my service and wave their little flag. They genuflect on Sundays, and yes, they'd send us back. But I believe in God and country, and in the angels upon high, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky, and in heaven shining down on us through bullet holes in the sky. Oh,